Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my channel. I'm Chintana Saputantri. In this video, you can find the explanation and relevant theories for the question number 3 in 2017 A-level. If you need this question, I will share the link in the description. Before listening to this explanation, you should have done question number 3 in 2017 A-level paper. Then this will help to mark your answer as well as you can clarify your doubts. First of all, we need to have some idea about this question. So first you need to check what type of business is this. So we can identify there are two types of businesses, basically product based and service based. Based on this inventory column, we can say most probably this business is a product based business. Second one, you need to check whether this business is already started business or newly started business. With this point, with this opening balance, I can say this is a already started business. The third point, you need to check whether this question gives you transactions or figures. If we analyze counting equation questions from 2000 to 2019, we can identify two type of questions. In one set, examiner gives you transactions and you are required to write some figures like this, or else examiner gives figures like this question and you are required to write transactions. So this is a figures, this question is under second model. As we know, our basic accounting equation is assets equal to capital plus liability, or else assets equal to liabilities plus equity or capital. Normally, this basic accounting equation gives you under categorize method. That means assets group categorize into 4. In this question, property, plant and equipment, PPE, inventory, trade receivables, cash. And the liabilities divide into 2 as bank loan and trade payables. Equity divided into 2, capital and retained earnings. Actually, this retained earnings word normally we learn in company accounts. Okay, now we have the basic idea about this question. Now I'm going to explain how to identify answers, or else how to write transactions from 1 to 10. In this, property, plant and equipment means all non-current assets we have. Inventory, trade receivables and cash we can identify as current assets. In liability section, bank loan and trade payables, we can say bank loan is a non-current liability and trade payables can be current liability. Equity divided into 2 in this question as capital and RE, retained earnings. As I said earlier, equity will be changed due to 5 reasons. Out of that 5, drawings has been removed in the question itself. That means only 4 reasons available: initial capital, additional capital, income and expense. So retained earnings means similar word, retained profits. Profits. How to find profits? You know, profits can be found by deducting expenses from income. That means out of that 4 reasons, income and expenses group as retained earnings. That column shows income and expense. Then 2 reasons, initial capital and additional capital, will be categorized under capital column. As I said earlier, this is already started business. That means no initial capital. Then capital column represent only additional capital. With these in my mind, I'm going to explain 1 to 10. So question, the transaction number 1, it says PP has gone up as well as long-term liability, bank loan gone up. So I can say simply, my liabilities can be changed due to two reasons. Liabilities can be increased due to obtain a loan, or liabilities can go down due to the settlement. Then in this case, liabilities has gone up with 1000. That means obviously I obtain a loan. With that loan, I purchase property, plant and equipment. So answer for the first one is obtain or purchase property, plant and equipment worth 1000 or 1 million on bank loan. Number 2, my liability has gone up with 250 as well as my inventory gone up with 250. That means I obtain some inventory under credit base. Number 3, cash at bank gone up as well as capital gone up. We know capital column represent additional capital only. So obviously you have to write obtain, receive an additional capital worth 600,000. Number 4, cash at bank gone down as well as RE gone down. You know retained earnings column represent income and expense. Due to income, capital will go up as well as due to expense, capital will go down. So this is a minus 400. That means this should be an expense. So you can write any transaction represent an expense. Paid electricity bill worth 400 or 400,000. Number 5, inventory gone down, trade receivables gone up, as well as profits, retained earnings, retained profits gone up by 800. My inventory can be go down due to 3 reasons. Think practically. In your business, your stock can go down due to 3 reasons. First one, for sale. When you're going to sell, your stock go down. Number 2, if you return some purchased stock, in that time also your stock go down. And the third point, due to stock damage, donation or drawings, also your inventory can go down. Right. So if my stock has been damaged, donation or drawings, capital will not go up. That means those 2 reasons cannot be taken. Then this should be a sale. If I sell, my stock go down. As well as if I sell something, I have to receive some cash. Cash is not affected. That means this is on credit base. Sold stock worth 1000 for 1800 on credit base and earned profit of 800. Number 6 says debtors gone down as well as creditors gone down. Both go down due to transfers. Transfer in between debtor and creditor at once. Yes, we can do that because due to transfers, debtor and creditor both go down with the same value. Therefore, answer for the 6th one is settlement or transfers in between debtor and creditor worth 500,000. Number 7, your equity or else profits or else expense gone down as well as PP go down. PP go down due to two reasons. First one, it can be damage or depreciation. Due to depreciation, my PP go down. So number 7, most probably you can write depreciation worth 50. Number 8, in this 8th transaction, debtor gone down, RE gone down. Think about debtor. Why debtor is gone down? Debtor can be go down due to few reasons only. First one, if this debtor become bad debt, obviously my debtor going down. Or else if debtor returns some amount of stock, also your debtor can go down. But we can't take that answer, because if debtor returns some amount of stock, debtor going down, as well as my inventory going up. So there's no effect on this inventory column. That means this you have to take as bad debts. Number 9, cash at bank gone down, bank loan gone down, and RE gone down. As we know, if you obtain a loan, you have to repay it. When you're going to repay, you repay as installment. Installment normally consists with two parts, the loan part and the interest part. So in this case, you can find your capital go down by 30. Bank loan go down with 150, addition 180. So you can write paid installment worth 180, which includes loan amount of 150 and the interest amount of 30. Transaction number 10. Inventory gone up, debtors gone down, and RE gone down. My inventory go up due to two reasons only. If you purchase stock, yes, your stock go up, as well as due to sales return. If you purchase, your cash go down or liabilities go up. Nothing has been affected in this case. That means this should be obviously return of sale. So you can write return of 250 by debtor worth 200 worth stock. So we know this is negative income. Sales return normally we take as negative income. Why? When I'm going to sell, my income go up. When it is going to be returned, that income go down. So we answer requirement number 1. It says describe each transactions indicated from 1 to 10 above with values. So we explained. Then I'm moving to the second requirement. What it says? Profit or loss for the month ending 31st of January 2017. That means you have to find profit or loss for a month. We know to calculate profit or loss, there are two methods available. We can use statement method or net profit equation. In this point, in this requirement, it is not specifying what method you have to use. So you can use either method. But my advice is to use net profit equation model, because it is very simple and easy to find answer. So second one says profit or loss. I can say very quickly answer is 120. It's very simple. Why? all income and expenses are grouped in this column. So beginning of the month, I have 1200 worth retained earnings, and end of the month, I have 1320 worth retained earnings. Actually, this theory you are going to learn in company accounts. So retained earnings, retained profits, simple idea is accumulated profit. So the difference between opening and closing is 120. So for the answer for that is 120. This is the marking scheme of this question. So you can find 1 to 10 transactions in this marking scheme. Check about this. If the values are not mentioned, then 1 each for a transaction. So 1 to 10, 2 marks for one transaction. If you are not going to write values, amounts, you will lose 1 for each. So my advice is record all the information you have. Then you can find you can get full marks. See, for the second requirement, you get 3 marks, which means 1.5 out of 100. When you come to this working, examiner gave 3 workings to find this answer. As I said earlier, it's very simple. The difference between opening and closing, you can find the answer. Or else, income minus expense. This is kind of a long method, so I preferably use number 3, net profit equation. As you know, net profit equation is closing net asset minus opening net asset plus drawings minus additional capital. With that also, you can find the net profit. I'm going to explain a little bit about this net profit equation. Closing net assets. Closing net assets means closing capital. So closing capital given as 2920. Here, closing capital given as 2920. As I said earlier, equity column splitted into 2. So you have to take closing capital, the addition. The opening capital is 2200, where addition of 1000 and 1200. In this question, beginning of the question, it highlights no drawings. That means no drawings here, and it says additional capital 600. So you can find the answer very quickly. I'm moving to the third requirement, prepare statement of financial position, as we know, SOFP, as at 31st of January 2017, showing assets and liabilities as current and non-current. I always ask from my students to write full answer. Why I'm saying like that? In this preparation of SOFP is very simple. Why? In SOFP we know we have assets, capital and liability. Here you can find assets, capital and liabilities under classified method, and examiner gave you closing balances of that as well. So it's very simple requirement. Simple means high risk. Keep it in mind. If you can find very simple requirement, simple answer, that means risk of that is very high. Then this is a 15 mark question. 10 marks allocated for this point, requirement number 1, and 1.5 allocated for question number 2, that means 11.5. Remaining 3.5 add to this point. 3.5 marks for the simple requirement. Risk is very high. Why I'm saying like that? This is the answer, marking scheme of that. So you can find SOFP here, NCA, CA, equity, NCL and CL. It's very simple. Why? All terms and relevant values given by examiner. What you have to do, just to copy values and the terms in a standard format. See, just to copy those values, you get marks. But there's a key point to remember. Here, if the headings are not there, reduce 2 marks. එක heading එකක් හරි අඩු නම් ලකුණු අඩු කරන්න. 4 headings are expected. This is the marking scheme, teacher's marking scheme, right? That means if you are not going to write one of these 4, you will lose 2 marks. As I said earlier, question number 3 gets 7 marks totally. Out of that 7, you will lose 2 marks. So there's a high risk. See this point? Question highlights only assets and liabilities as current and non-current. In question number 3, there's nothing about equity. But in the marking scheme, 1 mark out of 7 allocated. That is why I always ask from my students to write full answer. Right. So with that explanation, you can find the answers of the question and the doubts, and I hope doubts will be clarified. So we will meet with another explanation like this. Thank you.